Hi, I'm Steve, and welcome to the Vicenta Talks podcast, where we talk to our community about navigating tech change and making forward-thinking choices. Hello, I'm Steve, and today on our podcasts, we are going to be talking with Eliot Jones from Christopher Jones Partnership. Eliot, thank you ever so much for spending some time and coming down and talking to us. Got
Pleasure.
some great things we want to talk about from a finance industry perspective that I know that you're up to. But why don't you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Christopher Jones and what your business does?
So I'm Eliot Jones of Christopher Jones Wealth Management based in Winchester. We're a wealth manager. We're a family business. We've been in business since 1987, in fact. We look after people's wealth planning, inheritance tax planning, and their futures. So that's what we do as a family from our base in Winchester.
And it's fair to say, because we've known each other quite a long time now, and the use of technology by your firm has dramatically increased. Even in the time that I've known you, you've really adopted technology to actually drive the business forward. Isn't that so?
Massively. I mean, I think thinking back to when, our business principally started on paper.
Yeah.
And I remember my dad sitting down, and each week, each day, he would write down, literally all his transactions onto this bit of paper. And I think that's still quite interesting, still quite common in the industry. I think lots of advisors still use paper. And I think something we recognized was that to be able to grow our business sustainably and look after our clients compliantly and efficiently, we needed to use technology. But what was that technology? Where did we need to turn? And I think it's having confidence in the people, the relationships that you work with in your business to ensure you can deliver that on all fronts. And I think from the outset, it was, if you think simply, we have some laptops, we just need a laptop and we need to put some information onto that laptop. We need to make sure we have email, and we need to make sure that it's secure. And in fact, we were running our business on individual laptops.
Yeah.
And we were running them without a central system, and we were growing our business. So we were improving from paper to computers and technology and so on and so forth, of course. But fundamentally, what we weren't doing is looking at it as one. And what we weren't doing, or we weren't aware of, because we didn't necessarily engage, and we're talking over 10 years now, far more than 10 years, in terms of actually the systems and processes that we could use, and engaging with the technology that was available to us.
Yeah.
To do what we want to do to scale our business. Now, our business has gone through significant growth in the last 10 years.
Probably fueled in some way by the ability for you to use the technology to make that happen.
Yeah, hugely.
Sometimes completely overlooked by business owners.
Massive.
As the consequence of how much technology has allowed that to happen.
Our technology focus, or our focus as a business, in terms of efficiencies, security, all of these kind of key components, particularly also around compliance as well, ensuring you're compliant. We're a heavily regulated business.
Yeah.
A lot of that centers around the best technologies.
Yes.
The best IT, support, solutions, software, systems, you name it. And I think the one, we engage with Vicenta after talking to, this, we spoke to 3-4 companies at the time.
Sure.
And for us, it's something that was really important to us as a business to aid us with that growth, or through that growth and beyond that.
Yeah, I think you're a good example, and obviously being a customer, and we're really excited and thankful that you are. It's been a brilliant relationship. But I think it's it's the partnership thing that I think really works in terms of how we've consulted with you and walked you through a particular journey.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're not wealth management experts. So actually, for us, I think the important thing here is that you have, through this journey, come to us with particular things that have emerged that you've needed within the business to do things.
Yeah.
And because we've got you on a journey, because we understand the sort of roadmap you're on, we've been able to make the transitions that you've been through as frictionless as possible without causing problems to your business.
We started. We had there was 4 of us in the business, and we started with individual laptops, and we had some local IT support chap helping us. Very nice, don't get me wrong, but fundamentally, that solution was stopping us from efficiently growing and doing all the things we need to do and to be compliant and so on. We recognised that as part of moving into our new offices, building space, that we needed to think more about how, in line with that, we were going to support that growth. More team, more people,
More infrastructure.
Yeah, what do you need? And it's like, well, I don't know, which way do you go? You go out and you go and talk to a few IT firms, and you think you've been told about this one and that one. And I think for me, what stood out was the fact that, and you alluded to this really, is that it was the fact that you engage with us about what do you actually thought about us. And you're not wealth managers, but you're IT people, and you're going, okay, we're going to listen to what we think you need, and we're going to work with you to deliver those solutions. Great, you're on. Because actually we need a good partnership, and we're fortunate to have had that great partnership and continue with that partnership, because what it means is anyone even in our team now today, you get a problem, the word's Vicenza.
Yeah,
They're like Vicenza.
fantastic to hear.
No point even going IT, you go Vicenza.
Yeah.
And you know what the process is. We know who the people are, and we know we'll get the support efficiently and quickly. But we went from 3 laptops to a SharePoint solution, which was game changer.
Yeah.
We were running our business, live, all of us at the same point, same time, sharing files centrally. I mean, can you believe we weren't doing it?
Well, the interesting thing about that is that there's a huge amount of organisations that still aren't
Really?
Yeah, and obviously, the funny thing is this just about this journey, and this podcast isn't about a ringing endorsement for Vicenza, but I absolutely love.
Yeah.
I love your enthusiasm for us, because that just is an endorsement of what we do.
Vicenza.
But unless we put you on that right trajectory, there's a whole bunch of things that you're doing now, and I want to talk about, which you wouldn't be in the right position. So you'd almost have to go backwards to come forwards, and that just stops your business in your tracks and things like that. So what I want to do, I'm going to flip it a bit, because you talked about security a couple of times, you've talked about compliance a couple of times, and IT and compliance, okay, is almost like a bit like IT and disaster recovery or business continuity.
Yeah.
It's something that people aspire to do, believe that they're doing to a lesser or greater extent.
Till they check.
But actually, when you really dig into it, is that they've scuffed the surface, ticked the first box.
Yeah.
But actually, there's a whole lot of holes in that compliancy. Now, I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that you're there, because we've been in that lockstep with you on this. But actually, what I really want the viewers and listeners to understand from you is how that has enacted your thinking about how you're going to use IT. I'm going to come on and talk a little bit about AI in a minute, because I know that we've been working with you on that as well, but you've really gone into some of that in a fantastic way. I really admire where you're going with some of that. But just to understand from a business perspective the checks and balances that have to be there. It's not all about technology. It's not all about IT. You as a business owner, the people within your business need to have an acute understanding and comprehension of the boundaries of things like the FSA and things like GDPR and stuff like that. And it's very dangerous there's a real danger that you go forward and do things for what you think are the right reasons, and then realize that actually what you've done is you've exposed some data, or you're doing something in the wrong way. And clearly you've organized yourself in such a way that you've built on. So it's a very solid foundation. But I think it'd be really good to share that mindset of how and why you've got to that mindset with things like compliance and governance, because I think there's a story there.
Yeah, I think you know, fundamentally being in the wealth management space, and financial services sector, one of the most critical aspects is data protection, and the safe custody of that data. We hold some, very personal information, and it's really important that, fundamentally from a regulation perspective, and that's what enables you to continue to undertake your profession, ensure you're compliant and you follow regulation, that you have those assets. My phone ringing. I put that on silent as well. How does that get through? So that says there's a data breach or something.
Not on our watch.
No, I think it's anyway, so basically being compliant and ensuring it allows you to continue to undertake your profession, provide your service to your clients. So having the right systems that fundamentally we have that give us the foundation to then build on as a business, to ensure that as these continued pressures that we face as a sector, as other sectors do, that we can meet them and indeed meet them at all times without question. Yeah, because it's very easy to slip into, I think we do. Yeah, no, definitely we do. Yeah, maybe we do. Do we? Internally as a business, and actually we can say that we've got these measures in place. We've done this. We've ticked all the boxes. But more than ticking the boxes, I think it's important we've actively engaged. Yeah, and we understand the measures and why. Yeah, and I think some of the things that we've done, like with yourselves, is very much ensuring that we're aware of why, how, where, and that our people in our business are as well. Just from security and particularly one thing that stands out for me is that I think this is my perspective, is that people's what's the word? They're quite susceptible to email scams. Yeah. And that someone gets in through your emails, you've got problems. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I imagine that's quite common.
Massively. And even worse, because unfortunately, and we've had this conversation off camera many months ago. If you go back 5 or 6 years, we're advocating the fact that, make sure you've got some firewalls, make sure, so the data hardening that we work with you on your SharePoint system is all about defend your borders.
Yes, exactly.
Defend your borders, make sure that these people don't get across the moat. Yeah. The most dangerous asset that you now have that could cause you a breach is your people, because you're getting emails which are flying over the top like arrows across the top of the moat, and all of these scammers are thinking about, you're all under pressure. We make sure that if you do it on your mobile, then you go, oh my God, my password's gone wrong. Oh, hang on. Okay, look, I've got a thing from Microsoft. I can just click on that and get it. Click, bang, they're done. They're in. They're looking for urgency. They're looking for, there's a danger. Do it now. React immediately. And there's a percentage of people that will do that all the time, which is why. And it's really interesting because you talk about conformance and compliance. So the FCA regulations CISC 13, okay, specifically talks about you as a financial service organization's ability to continue to transact.
Yeah.
But one of the things in there is that you are providing security awareness training
Yeah.
for your staff.
Yeah.
Because they are unintentionally the weakest link that we will have, and by the way, we'll always have, because humans will always interact in that way.
We've had a number of circumstances where, without doubt, without the systems and the training that we have in place, through IT, through security, software systems, processes that we have and we've engaged with, because hey, you've told us about it, and we've continued to make sure we've kept up to date. So we've always been engaged with that in our partnership. But there have been a number of occasions where, without doubt, that we would have done, and they've been caught every single time.
Yeah,
and actually, the thing every day, what I think our systems do is that they basically quarantine your email. So every day you get this quarantine email, and it sort of says, here's a load of stuff which we picked up, which we think you don't, maybe spam.
Yep.
And actually quite a lot goes into that. And actually what that equally does is it makes you a hell of a lot more efficient, because you're not filtering through spam all the time in your emails.
No.
It filters it. You get an email or two a day maybe, and it basically, you can quickly look through and go, I'll have a quick look. Is that spam? Oh, crikey, that one looks like whatever. And so for us, it's, we've become more efficient day to day.
Yeah.
The team are more acutely aware.
Yeah.
You can flag things, and that's enabled us to, ensure that we, are wholly compliant. And, we're a family business. We don't want to lose our client data.
Absolutely.
We don't want our client to be attacked.
Yeah.
And so, heart of hearts, we just want to be doing the best in every way. And so by having these things means I can go to sleep at night. And so can everyone else in the business.
Yeah, and I think you're right. And I think the other thing which is good is that because you've systemized some of these things and you have these processes in place, is that when, particularly from a compliance perspective or a governance perspective, you are asked to produce evidence.
Yeah.
Then this stuff is also not a really hard task to go, because actually it's sitting there in the background and it's providing this type of information, which again is it's an unintended consequence of securing your environment. Is you're also getting this solid reporting, which is really useful in a number of different areas in that respect.
We have compliance audits 3 or 4 times a year. And as part of that process, ensuring we're compliant, it's important that we're able to produce that information, and we are.
Sure.
Which is great. And for when you run a business, you're in a business, without your customers, your clients, you're nothing. But you need to be focused on those individuals to ensure that you're providing a service.
Yeah.
But at the same time, these sort of things can, and you see more than I do, but many businesses that you think you're doing it, it's that whole same thing. You get on, you're running, you're working hard, your head down, and that's what we all do. And so to have a partnership with someone like yourselves that's enabled us to go, you need to be thinking about this, doing this, why, how, where, engagement for the team.
Yeah,
Not
and
just
I think
about ticking a box.
Yeah, and I think you're an exemplar in terms of how you've used IT to really forward your business. I mean, the word business transformation is used sometimes too often, but actually I think if we look back and where you were and where you are now, your business has 100% been through business transformation using technology as the enabler.
No doubt about it. And more in a sense of the fact that where we continue to work and grow, build on the business, people. There's been, as things have come up and come out, we've been able to, I hate the word pivot, but we've been able to
It's another
pivot
good
to
word, yeah.
things quite quickly.
Yep.
So in an event, look at COVID.
Yeah.
Look at COVID. I mean, we had moved into our offices and we'd set up centralized systems, Microsoft SharePoint, simplistically. We had centralized everything. We were ready to go, and there was 4 of us. And we were growing. We were about to recruit and so on and so forth. And the world shuts down overnight.
Yeah.
Well, we had teams, we had solutions. We were able to continue to grow our business in that year.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Reasonable rate of growth because we could engage, communicate with clients, but not only grow. It was not just about growth, it's about sustain.
Yeah.
And there were lots of people out there at a time where money was a big concern.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Employment, money, income, life. Well, that's what, we're looking after people's money.
Yeah.
So they needed us more than ever, but we couldn't see each other.
Yeah.
So actually, we were able to get, we were like, wow, thank God we engaged with this technology.
Yes.
And we started to do this, and that we were engaged with someone who was proactive with us, that overnight we could continue to service our clients and see them.
Yeah, it was that was a monumental change, and you're right. Those organisations that were doing that type of thing and had invested like you did really reaped the benefits. I mean, actually, you take us back. Here we are doing podcasts again now. We did one a long time ago, if you remember. Yeah. Actually, just outside because of COVID, which was really interesting. So it's lovely to have you back.
I had shorts on as well.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we're not doing that today.
But
actually, what's really interesting about that is that similar thing about how are we ever going to communicate? You've just reminded me was actually exactly why we started Presenter Talks. So actually, it's quite interesting. You sort of brought this podcast full circle. In it's going out on things like Spotify and things like that now, but so that you can consume it as an audio as well as a visual. But yeah, we had the same problem, which is, hey, we want to communicate with people. Teams allowed us to do that, but we also wanted to show the other side of the business, which was really having conversations with local organisations, either customers or not, as the case may be, which went down fantastically well at the time because everybody didn't really understand whether they were going to be ever doing this again.
Anything. Yeah.
But what I want to do is I want to just, as we get towards a close of this, I want to try and address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is AI. Now, as I say, you've really engaged in technology, and we've been working and talking with you about the way that you've been using AI and the stuff that you've been doing. So I'd really like to end this in terms of giving your perspective of how you think your business has adopted AI and where you think that's going, and why that's important to lens this in this forum is there's still a huge amount of people out there that are sort of experimenting but don't quite know how to make the leap between this looks like it's interesting and might help and, oh God, yes, these are the things that we can now do and we are doing, and here are some results that we're getting from AI in our business. Could you just talk a little bit about, again, I really want to understand sort of just the mindset direction of travel, which has taken you to a point where you're now reaping some really useful benefits from the use of AI where it currently is. And it's going to morph even further, but where it is, you're already generating results from your business.
Do you know, I think the first thing I'd say is that we have always been a face-to-face, people-first business. We've always been very much led by the traditional approach.
Yeah.
And we maintain traditional values.
Yeah, no, it's important. Yeah, and it shines through.
Which I think is completely weird. Traditional values is here and AI is here. Well, no, it's over here somewhere.
Absolutely. I'd completely concur.
And so for me, it was a real challenge to go, AI? Oh, I don't want this AI thing. This is horrible. Oh, no, we don't need this. This isn't our business. This is not us. And I think we put it right there at the door, left it at the door.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And I think we had some conversations about, aspects of AI, and you listen to other podcasts and you listen to people and you have conversations and you think,
We had our CTO come in and chat to you about AI, didn't we?
yeah.
So
We had our Microsoft. So we were looking at. We fundamentally twigged in our mind we shouldn't discount this, and we had your CTO come in. We said we were talking about it in passing, and you suggested perhaps come in, talk about it, so on. I thought that's a great idea. Inform us. How do we use this in our business with what we're doing? And it's been transformational. It really, really has. Back to that word. And I think, people in general are they're not sure about it.
still experimenting,
But
without a
it's
doubt.
so powerful on just a very simple level. Just to start with, it was using Microsoft Copilot.
Yep.
And I picked up Copilot, and started using it to respond to emails, simplistically. First, very simple thing, and you think, it's not going to do much. It's amazing. Now, naturally, nothing's perfect. You've got to adjust things yourself. But what has it done for me and now our wider team is saving them time.
Yeah.
But it's equally offering to our clients a more prompt and efficient message that's clear, that equally enables us to, adjust that to suit our tone.
Yeah.
But not only that, at the start of every week, have I forgot anything from last week, from my emails or messages or what's in my diary? Ask it what I like within reason. It just goes, yeah, Eliot, by the way, you were supposed to respond to that, and so on and so forth. Oh yeah, God. So every Monday I do that. Maybe I should do it every day. But every Monday I do that, every Monday morning. So that simple piece of highly effective
Is winning your time.
it's completely. Yeah. It's gone. I used to spend ages writing emails. I've hardly got any emails in my inbox. It's so efficient. And there's more that it does, and we're working with it to do that, and we're engaging with it. That's the point. You've got to engage. It's like anything in life. You buy a membership to something and you don't use it, forget it.
Yeah.
Buy a membership and use it and go, and you'll love it.
Yeah, exactly.
AI across
Great analogy.
business, I think, there are lots of different external software providers we use within our industry, and a lot of them have engaged with AI, and I think it's just important to be utilizing it wherever you can and whatever you do. But your fundamental day-to-day, your software, your systems, your processes, your customer delivery, the Copilot tool, along with all the other stuff that comes from other places, it should absolutely be recognized. Of course, you have to remember that, always sense check, but ultimately it allows you that greater breathing space, that more focus using these tools. Those tools.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a good point you make there, is that, it's a good first past the post type of approach, because you still have to put the Mark 1 eyeball on it. You still have to put your own style on it, because otherwise it would be seen quite easily that you're just employing an AI tool. I think that's also not quite there in the industry at this point in time.
Think about lots of things like I did a presentation the other day, and I partly did it in AI.
Yeah, and that's a perfect example.
I drafted a letter to a client, which I knew how to write and I knew how it would look, but I did it in AI. And then I top and tailed it myself.
Yeah.
And the content, the data was right. Now though my clients do not want me generally spending time writing emails and writing letters, and they want me engaging with the best advice, investments. Yeah. They want me with them where they can be. Yeah. So I spend more time than ever with people.
Yeah, and that's absolutely what this sort of tooling should be used for.
So I love AI. Cool. But I'm, it's just keeping open to it, and, it moving forward. So yeah.
Good. Well, look, been brilliant talking to you. We've had a sort of a little swarry through
Really
a
nice.
whole bunch of things: FCA,
Yeah.
data compliancy, security.
Yeah.
Now a little bit about AI. I think that's really good. It's great to hear from an advocate of technology out there in business, because I think that there's lots of businesses that shy away from that a little bit, leave it at the front door, which I think that was a great thing. It was a great analogy you made there. So thank you ever so much for coming.
Pleasure. It's always good to talk. Should do it more.
Absolutely right. Probably down the pub.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eliot.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Vicenza Talks podcast. If you've enjoyed the discussion, hit subscribe for more conversation with our community on cybersecurity, AI strategy, and future-focused business thinking. And if you've got questions or want to continue the chat, comment below or email me at sales@vicenza.com.